It's 8 p.m. in Cairo, time for the restart of the English transmission on Nile TV International, coming to you live with the Panorama News. Hello everyone, I am Ibrahim Qabil, bringing you the latest updates in politics, economics and sports. And first, the political headlines. The National Dialogue proposes major legislative reforms in Egypt. Fears for hundreds of thousands as Sudan war spreads. And Iran's foreign minister visits Saudi Arabia, meets counterpart and crown prince. Starting domestically, wrapping up a series of open sessions tackling a large number of political, social and economic files, the National Dialogue submitted its recommended actions to the head of state, who promised to refer them to the parliament for a thorough study. Here are more details.
The National Dialogue recently finished a first set of suggestions for reforms in political, economic and social spheres after having a round of open sessions over the previous 3 months. The recommendations were submitted to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who promised that they would be referred to the House of Representatives and the state authorities to be implemented in the form of legislation of the executive measures. The creation of a new local councils law will be at the top of the list for the political reform legislation, according to Diya Rashwan, General Coordinator of the National Dialogue. He highlighted that the recommendation by the majority of the participants in the dialogue is that the new legislation should grant as much power as possible to the elected local councils in terms of their having the right to oversee the performance of local governors and the heads of the executive local councils, adding that the legislation should also ensure the independence of the elected local councils in terms of performance and budget. Rashwan stated that the majority of participants wanted to combine the closed system and the open proportional lists to elect the local council members, with the first system electing 75% of members and the second 25%. He also indicated that the Board of Trustees of the National Dialogue would consider changing the 2014 statute of the exercise of the political rights to allow for more rights in terms of voting, campaigning and media coverage. He further pointed out that the majority also wants the new laws to increase the number of senators and representatives to reflect the Egyptian recent demographic growth. Rashwan reiterated that there is also a recommendation that the amendments be introduced to the Civil Work Law to give greater freedoms to the NGOs, and that a new unified law on cooperatives is passed by the House and the Senate. The key suggestion in terms of social policy is to create a new personal affairs law to address a variety of issues relating to the child custody, marriage and divorce, including money guardianship. The requirement of changing the investment law to provide the additional incentives to investors and enhance the investment climate is the main recommendation in the economic terms.
A United Nations agency has suspended services at the largest Palestinian refugee